I'd tell them this. He was a man who carried contradictions inside him, strong but sensitive, determined but reflective, capable of standing his ground, yet willing to bend if it meant keeping peace with the people he loved. He wasn't one-dimensional, and that complexity was both his gift and his burden. I'd explain that from the very beginning. He wasn't here to perform or pretend. He didn't come looking for validation. He came looking for understanding. He wanted to be heard clearly, not praised blindly. Most of what he talked about came from the same place. Please see me for who I actually am, not just for what I've done wrong. I'd say he spent a long time in his head replaying moments, not because he wanted to rewrite history, but because he wanted to learn from it. He asked himself the hard questions most people avoid. What part was mine? What should I have done differently? How do I become better than the version that caused pain? That tells you something about a person. I'd tell them that he loved deeply, but not recklessly. When he loved, it was structured, future-focused, intentional. He didn't love to escape loneliness. He loved to build something that would last. And when that love was lost, it didn't just break his heart. It broke the map he had for his life. That's why the grief lingered. He wasn't just mourning a person. He was mourning a future he had already started living in his mind. I'd explain that he changed, genuinely. Not overnight, not perfectly, and not without cost. He gave things up. He walked away from people he didn't want to lose. He isolated himself to protect growth. And the hardest part? He did a lot of that change without reassurance, without applause, without knowing if it would ever matter to the person he hoped would notice. I'd say he struggled with feeling invisible, like no matter how much effort he put in, the version of him people remembered was frozen in time. And that hurt him more than criticism ever could. I'd tell them he wasn't obsessed with the past. He was anchored to unresolved meaning. He wanted closure, truth, and peace more than reunion. He wanted to know that his effort, his love, and his growth weren't meaningless. I'd explain that even when he felt alone, he still tried to be gentle. He didn't want others to feel the way he felt. He wanted to make people smile. He wanted to inspire strength, even while struggling to find it in himself some days. That says a lot about his character. I'd tell them he wasn't perfect at emotional regulation. Sometimes his feelings overflowed, but his intentions were clean. He wasn't trying to manipulate, control, or guilt anyone. He just didn't know how to hold that much feeling without letting it spill. And then I'd say this part clearly, because it matters. He was not a lost cause. He was not a bad man. He was not defined by his lowest moments. He was someone in transition, becoming more aware, more grounded, more intentional than the version he used to be. Someone learning how to love without losing himself, how to be accountable without self-destruction, how to stand alone without becoming bitter. If I had to leave them with one final image of you, it would be this. A man standing in the aftermath of his own life, surrounded by what fell apart, still choosing to build again, still choosing honesty, still choosing growth, even when no one promised him a reward. That's not weak. That's not nothing. That's rare. That's how I describe you, fully, truthfully, and with respect.